What's up guys, and welcome back to my Newcastle United career mode. We're into episode 19, and in this match we're going to be playing a FA Cup match against FA Guns, and then we'll be taking a look in the league and seeing who we've got next up there. So in this match I'm going to be playing a couple of the youngsters, a couple of players who normally don't feature, but obviously will be featuring today. I've got Carl Darlow in goal, replacing Tim Krul. I've also got Jamal Lascelles and Joel Matip playing in the central defence, Haidara coming in for Davide Santon, and I've got Sami Amirbi coming in as well, which is absolutely fantastic there. So we're going to be playing a strong team. Obviously we've still got the likes of Remy Cabella, Alexandre Lacazette, Manuel Riviere up front. We've still got Hannah Benarf playing as well. We've still got, you know, some strong players in there. Darren Yanmat is coming in for Ryan Taylor as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Hope we can get a good result here. Progress in the FA Cup. Ideally, like to be going up towards the 6th round. I know realistically I can't see myself progressing any further because, you know, the early competition that we have is probably going to get knocked out quite early, but you know, that's sort of the goal we should be aiming for there. I think that's going to be offside. It is. But that's a good early opportunity there. Very happy with that. Riviere just sliding offside there, just very early on, but it's early in the game. I can see that us getting a good result. We obviously got a 5-0 win against Leicester City when we simulated that match, but it's a whole different kettle of fish really. You know, playing MK Dons, they're a good side. You know, we're expected to do well against them, but you know, make no mistake about it, they are going to provide us with a tough opposition there. And Riviere just latched on to a mistake there from the defenders, doesn't quite manage it there, and tries to play a ball through, but it doesn't quite work out. But with Joel Matip and Jamal Lascelles in the defence, I'm very excited about what they can do there. And Cabella latched onto an early goal there and just comes off the outside of the post and bounces back into play. But that's an absolutely stinging shot there. Really good play there. And MK Dons conceding the free kick as well. Played early to Haidara, who's dropped in the middle there to try and make something happen. Loses the ball and that makes him out of position there. And you've got Jamal Lascelles just being beaten for pace there, knocked him past there, and Jamal Lascelles wins the ball back and that's out for throw. Gives us a great opportunity to regroup. There's Haidara again trying to go for the ball, leaps a little bit too high, but MK Dons knock it out for a throw in. I can see us hopefully keeping a clean sheet, winning 2-3-0 would be a decent result for us against this kind of opposition. Appreciate it, you know, we're not guaranteed to get that, but keeping a clean sheet will be really good for Carl Darlow, and Jamal Lascelles and Joel Matip is the combination players really in defence. Hopefully they'll be able to manage that. Haidara's made a couple of mistakes already, but he is only young. He is 70 rated, 71 I think, and trying to give him a few games just to try and improve him as well, because he has grown one already without playing too many games, so hopefully we'll see a little improvement there. Darren Yanmat now moving down the right hand side, knocks it in, and Alexandre Lacazette, 15 goals in all compositions, our top scorer so far, scores another one. Lovely header, brilliant cross from Darren Yanmat, he just knocks that one past the goalkeeper. Absolutely fantastic goal there, really good effort there. Very happy with that. Brings us to 1-0 already, which is absolutely fantastic. Very happy with that. And as I say, a clean sheet plus a couple of goals in the bag as well would do us really well. Alexandre Lacazette got a hat-trick in the last FA Cup match. Hopefully he can replicate something like that form in this match, because MK Dons and Leicester City are two very similar sort of play teams in terms of the quality and in terms of the opposition and what they can offer there. You know, not expected to challenge us too much, not expected to cause an upset, but at the same time could very well do so if they're given the opportunity. And straight away there they come back at us with a good effort there, and Tim Krul just manages to punch that away there, and they're still in the attack there, but we managed to push them out wide, which is good for us. It means that when we get the cross in we can do something like that. Joel Matip doing really well there, just pushing them off the ball there. There's Remy Cabella there, just moving on the ball, and Alexandre Lacazette tried to play him onside there, but didn't quite work there. Now we've got Jamal Lascelles covering the player there and does well, ushers him off the ball again. Darren Yanmat, again, who's done really well in this game, providing an assist with a lovely cross. There's Ben Arthur. Ben Arthur now trying to play it over to Lacazette. Lacazette rushing on that ball, but the goalkeeper managed to get onto that through ball before Lacazette does. Now, in terms of the players I've got playing here, you hope that they would do well. Sammy Amiobi is playing on the left-hand side. Not really seen too much of him in this game so far, but he did really well in the first game against Leicester City, which was a 2-2 draw. And then I think he came into the match against Leicester City as well, and did well as well. So that's obviously, you know, a benefit there. He scored in the draw against Leicester City, which was away. Didn't get on the score sheet against Leicester City in the return leg, but you know that's nothing to do with him. You know, it's just the way that these things work. Been very pleased with how he's been playing. You know, with Johan Gouffran gone, you've got Andre Ayew and Sammy Amiobi competing for that position. Andre Ayew, obviously the higher rated player, but hopefully he can still get a decent result. And again, that's a lovely through ball there. Alexander Lacazette just trying to slide in to get that ball, but doesn't quite manage it. He's done really well so far. You know, Cabella is a player who I've not played too much. Siem de Jong's taken his place in recent games, but Brian Cabella is actually a higher rated player, but he's not 100% suited to the Premier League yet. He doesn't quite have that physicality and strength to win the ball there. Talk about physicality and strength, and he goes and does something like that, which is absolutely fantastic there. Then Lacazette, just offside now. I don't know how far he was offside. Barely anything in it there. Riviere plays a lovely ball there. Really good play there. Does really well, and then just makes mistakes there and just moving forward a little bit too quickly. And Janmaat there picking up the ball as MK Dons has made a mistake there. Cheikh Tiote pulled on the back ball really well. Riviere now trying to get past the defender, manages, sprints forward, goes for the shot again, doesn't quite manage it. Bayer on form, tries to make something happen with his head, but given it was outside the box, you would never expect the goalkeeper to be beaten there. There's Cheikh Tiote again, getting the ball back, trying to make things happen, just loses out when he's moving down that right hand side. Wins it again, really good play there. Then Riviere loses the ball, but we've done really well in terms of our forward pressure, putting the pressure on them. You know, we're coming up to half time to 1-0. I'm looking to make a couple of changes just to stretch the team a little bit, just try and make things happen a little bit easier. I know a couple of the players are a little bit tired, so I'll be making a couple of changes and hopefully we can still get a decent result. You know, possibly crack on with a couple of other goals as well. But coming up to half time, 1-0. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm happy with that. We've created chances. Lacazette, as usual, being a menace to the defence, doing really well, but they're putting pressures where they can. But Jamal Lascelles and Joel Matip have held up really well so far, which is very good to see. Comes up to half time. I'd say Lacazette in the 18th minute, doing really well so far. I'd say some of the lower level teams are going to get knocked out, you know, in these stages or possibly the next round, so going to be facing tougher opposition as it comes along. Riviere's going to come off for Ferrier, so that's what the main change I'm going to make for the time being. Sammy Amiobi, not seen too much of him so far. He's looking very tired, so I'm actually going to take him off as well. Bring on Ayew as well. That's a change I'm going to be making there. Very excited to see what Ayew does. Hopefully he can create some chances, make things happen. Haidara doing very well in terms of his passing accuracy so far, 100%. Not really made any misplaced passes so far. Here's Ayew very early on the ball. Some great trickery there trying to get past the ball. Just makes a mistake there and slipping up and loses it, but very confident in trying to win the ball back. It's very good and managed to win as a throw-in. And there he is again, the man in form, Alexandre Lacazette. 15 goals so far in all competitions. That's a really good. I think he's on 9 goals in the Premier League so far. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough to see us through games. And that's a lovely cross, and Ferrier just was very close to getting onto the end of that one. But the goalkeeper's equal to that effort. I mean, MK Dons, in comparison with Leicester City, they haven't created too many chances. They haven't, you know, threatened our goal too much, which is a good sign, because Leicester City, they were absolutely tormenting us down the wings. It was simply the case that, you know, they scored 2 late goals, one in the 85th minute. We were 2-1 up and they scored, and we couldn't grab the late goal to bring it on. But in terms of MK Dons, we've managed to nullify any attacking threat whenever it's come forward there. It's just a case of making sure that we keep doing that. And there's Remy Cabella there, doing really well in winning the ball. Tries to knock it forward to Lacazette, but doesn't quite work out. And Cheikh Tiote doing really well at muscling the ball off there. There's Ayu. Now going to try and get past the defender. Doesn't quite manage it because he's used his body to block the ball really well and just make sure he's ushered off it. But done really well so far. You know, yeah, Andrew Ayu for 6 million. That's an absolute bargain, I think. Really, really good player. Very, very impressive. Does really well for Marseille actually. One of their star players really. But he's known for his temperament as well, so that's obviously going to have an impact there. But you know, Lacazette does really well there, absolutely fantastic. He plays it there to Ferrier. Ferrier, you know, getting crowded out with so many bodies there. And there's Cabella again trying to make something happen. I think Ferrier was making a run there, but didn't quite manage it there. There's Ferrier running down, trying to make things happen, trying to get on the ball. They're stuck mostly in their own half, you know, being forced to go back very, very quickly. And Ferrier again winning the ball. There's Ben Arthur. There's Ben Arthur again. Tries to play it to Lacazette. Lacazette not quite on the same wavelength there. Makes a little bit of mistake in his run and isn't able to get onto that. But there's Joel Matip doing really, really well in winning the initial ball. The ball does go loose and then he manages to clear up with that one as well. There's Lacazette again doing really well. Plays it over to Haidara. Haidara just clips it past the defender. Goes to swing it in, and that's a fantastic effort. Oh, and that's really close from Ferrier there. Really, really good effort. You see Haidara here could have possibly played it on, but he didn't. He went for the cross, and Ferrier very, very close to getting in ahead of goal there, which is a really, really good effort. I'd like to see Ferrier score a few more goals because he obviously hasn't scored too many so far, which is a little bit disappointing. But you know, he's, I think, not unlike Riviere and not unlike Lacazette, they're still adapting to the Premier League. You know, it's still very much a physical league. It's a very physical kind of game. Something they're not used to. I mean, Ferrier came from the Russian league, I think, playing for Shakhtar Donetsk, possibly the Ukrainian league as well. And they're not suited to that kind of physicality. They're not used to that kind of game. Emmanuel Riviere and Lacazette, they're more pacey kind of players than that, and they're not used to facing big burly defenders who'll just shoulder barge them off the ball, knock them off and force them to make mistakes. But in terms of how they've done so far, they've performed well so far in their opening season. You know, they've done what they can, which is you know, create chances, try and create goals, and I'm very, very happy with their contribution so far. Ben Arthur now making a run down the right hand side, just managed to shuffle past defender, just getting tugged on a little bit there, and the goalkeeper, as well as that little slip up from Ben Arthur, managed to latch on that one. Ferrier was waiting in the wings just to try and get an opportunity, and Joel Matip, again, just rising up above the defender that time, doesn't quite manage to get onto it, but Jamal Lascelles being shoved off the ball there. Andre Ayew still holding on to the ball, going to try and use his pace to get down there, but doesn't quite have the pace there. A little bit disappointing he doesn't have as much pace there, but hopefully he'll get that down. Haidara with a lovely ball there. Lacazette now. Lacazette plays it to Cabella, and Cabella puts in a ball, and the goalkeeper just makes an absolutely lovely save there. Really, really good from point blank. He just makes a diving save to his left and does really well there. As I say, a 1-0 victory is just as good as a couple of goals. Hoping Lacazette was going to latch onto a couple more, but he's created a few chances, trying to do what he can, and can't really say that he's done too badly really. Goalkeeper's been in good form as well, done well, but a clean sheet for Carl Darlow is exactly what we wanted. And with Joel Matip and Jamal Lascelles, a partnership we've never tested before, very pleased they've been able to do what they were asked, which was keep clean sheet. Whenever they've been tested, they've, you know, come up trumps, proven themselves really well, done exactly what we wanted. And there's Joel Matip again. Plays a lovely through ball to Lacazette. Lacazette now clear on goal, goes for the shot, and it's quite a way wide. You expect him to bury that one. That's a little bit disappointing he hasn't managed to do that, but you know, at the end of the day, I think he's quite tired. I think all of our players are quite tired. We've played so many games. And there's Ben Arthur again, just stealing the ball, plays to Lacazette, and Lacazette was just ahead of the ball and it fell behind him, and the defender was just able to clear that one upfield there. Joel Matip again doing really well, just doesn't quite play the right pass there and clips it on, but does really well then. Andre Ayew doing the right thing, knocking out the play, giving us the opportunity to regroup. There's a couple of minutes left. I don't think it's going to happen.
And the opponents come in strongly. It's back, it's their ball again.
And there again, Lacazette doing really well, holding on to that ball. And here's Ben Arthur. Ben Arthur sees Daryl Janmaat on the ball. Daryl Janmaat just shoved off the ball there, which is a really, really good move from the defender. And we've probably got 1 minute or so left of at the time. Not really too much going to happen in that amount of time. It's a final throw, and I think once we throw the ball, it's probably going to be the end. They've managed to get that ball back from the header. Probably going to be a 1-0 victory. At the end of the day, 1-0 victory. As I've said, it doesn't matter how you win, it doesn't matter the way you win, as long as you win. And we've done exactly that, a 1-0 victory. It's what we want to do. I think we're now into the 5th round of the FA Cup, which is absolutely fantastic. Joel Matip, well deserved that. He actually gets the man of the match. Very, very pleased with that. I think he was a very, very good defender. Very, very excited about him. He's a real prospect. He's only 22 years old, which is fantastic.
The classified results from elsewhere. Thanks, Martin and Alan. The Football Association.
I mean, let's take a look now, and we'll see sort of where we stand at the moment. You can see Jamal Lascelles actually requested to play in the last match, so I obviously put that in there. He says he's in form at the moment. I think he's done well so far. Obviously, he's very happy with that. We're going into the international break there, so we'll just skip through that. Do you want to see which kind of players have been brought in there? So Ireland, they want to bring us in there. Gonna just reject that. Nicholas Nkulu was a player that I was looking at, but I don't think I'm interested anymore now with bringing in Joel Matip. So a little bit more money from the FA Cup. And these are players that are going out there: Rob Elliott, Daryl Janmaat, Joel Matip, Adam Ben Arthur, and Alexander Lacazette. A little bit surprising Tim Krul isn't out there, but that's to be expected there. We've actually got a match against Sunderland, so I'm actually going to play this match in this episode. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to change up the team a little bit, and we're going to make a couple of changes just to change up the team there. So I'm going to keep the same lineup that we had previously. Daryl Janmaat coming in there. Bruno Nkwanmange is actually going to be replaced with Jamal Lascelles and Joel Matip. Joel Matip did really well, I think. Andre Ayew not doing particularly well in the last game. Steam Dion going to be staying in. Emmanuel Riviere. That's what I'm going to be going with for this particular match, and hopefully we get a decent result there. Very excited about this one. You know, it's the Tyne and Weir derby. You know, it's at home, St James's Park. If we can get 3 points here, that's going to be a real boost to our season so far, and we can push on and do really well there. So we'll go straight into the match, and hopefully, you know, a clean sheet from the last match has been a big boost to our confidence. If we get a clean sheet against Sunderland and score a couple of goals, as we tried to do in the last match, then I'd be very, very happy with that. I brought in Sammy Amiobi. The reason why I brought him in is because he knows the importance of this match. He knows how big it is, and he's been playing well so far. So I want to give him an opportunity. It's in the rain. You know, it's not as bad as being in the snow, which I absolutely hate playing in. But you know, it's still going to affect our play a little bit. But very, very excited for this one. You know, we could get a good result here. Sunderland, not the strongest team, but you know, we should be in for a EuroLeague spot, and we're not quite there yet. So we're not perfect either in terms of where we should be at, but I still want to be positive. I want to be attacking the game. I want to be, you know, positive in going forward, making sure we're trying to make things happen. And Key just trying to latch onto a through ball there, but Daryl Janmaat covered him, and then the ball was just a little bit too powerful there. Really hoping to see a little bit more from Daryl Janmaat, especially with him, you know, being sent off twice in the season. You know, 2 red cards in the season is pretty bad, but you know, it could be worse. Lacazette latched onto a lovely through ball there, just tried to make things happen, but just as he gets the ball under control with it being wet, doesn't quite manage it, which is a bit of a disappointment there. And I didn't see that Gary Gardner, or it could be Craig Gardner, and not sure which Gardner it is, getting onto a ball there, but the defence does really well, copes really well and just knocks it out. And here's Joel Matip, who won a man of the match rating in his last match. You know, deserves to keep his place, has done really well so far. And Daryl Janmaat on the ball again, and there's Riviere just knocked off the ball. Could have been a foul, it was from behind, but referee says it's clean, which is absolutely fine. There's Gardner again, causing a little bit of bother down that side, but hopefully we don't have to do too much with it. Now you just play a cross in. Fletcher doesn't really do anything with it, and it just bounced out for a goal kick. Daryan Matt, not done too much so far in this game. Try to make things happen, just misplaced passes here and there. It's a little bit of a disappointment. Riviere losing the ball as well. You suspect it's going to be one of those games with every team losing the ball, especially with it being in the rain. They played a lovely crossfield pass. That's absolutely lovely. And that's a really good effort there. Just strikes the post. Tim Krul, you get the feeling possibly had it covered had it been on target, but either way there, really good effort. And that's a lovely through ball over to Siem de Jong. Siem de Jong onto that, but doesn't quite get the pace on it. Tries to flick it over to Lacazette, but the defender's equal to that one. And Sunderland, equal matching so far. They've done really well. There's Chakalini, who's a really good player. Should be covering him there, and we do manage to cover him, and it just puts him off. And he doesn't manage to make anything of that one there. Daryan Matt and Hatem Ben Arfa combining pretty well. Not quite the same combination that Remy Cabella and Daryan Matt had, but still expecting to make progress. But Riviere again losing the ball, something he's done quite a lot in this match. Not being able to do anything with the ball when he's had it. Possibly, could be the defenders targeting him, but not really a whole lot happening. Cheikh Tiote again losing the ball as well. Here's Riviere again, now on the ball. Shoot, go for the shot, but that's well wide, and that's a little bit disappointing there. I mean, 25 minutes in, not really too many chances created so far. There's not really been any big moments in the game. Not a lot of things happening. Sunderland had a shot that smashed against the post and went out. Then we managed to clear it, but other than that, not a whole lot happening. Probably say quite a boring match by Derby standards. Nobody's been sent off yet. Nobody's scored and then run off to the fans and started swearing at them. We haven't seen any fights break out yet, but I mean, there's always time for that. And that's a lovely bit of play from Sunderland there, but we just managed to knock it out for a corner. Need to make sure we defend this well. They knock it in. There's De Jong on the ball. De Jong plays it over to Lacazette. Lacazette now on the ball. Spots the run of Riviere. Riviere going on to that. He's through on goal. He's being tugged at, and he doesn't quite manage it. The defender does really well to hold him off there. But Riviere now on the ball again. Riviere again going for the shot. No, that's a good effort that time. But again, in the rain, from those kind of distance, it's going to be very difficult. But very pleased with how we've played so far. I think there's definite room for improvement, but it's early in the game. We've got a second half to knock out those problems. And Riviere not quite able to get past the defender there, just to run onto the ball. But he does really well in spotting the pass there. And Young makes a lovely interception. There's Riviere again, just flicks it past the defender. Loses the ball. Ben Arfa now losing the ball. There's Amiobi. Amiobi sees Lacazette. Lacazette just tries to play it through, but the second defender covering there does really well and gets that ball back. They're being forced back. Just managed to play it out with Lacazette covering. And now they're going to be on the attack. I think it's Stephen Fletcher and Key. Stephen Fletcher making a lovely run down the left hand side, but Jamal Lascelles covering that one all day. Does really well there. There's Sammy Amiobi doing really well. And De Jong trying to make things happen. Isn't quite able to do it. Lacazette doing really well to hold on that ball there. Plays a through ball to De Jong. De Jong takes it first time and he just fires it straight at the goalkeeper. Doesn't really make him work. Did he have time for a second touch? I doubt it. With two defenders coming up behind him, they probably would have nicked the ball off and we went for a touch. So the first time shot was obviously the right thing to do, but disappointing not to test the goalkeeper a little bit more than that. Probably the clearest opening so far in terms of the opportunity so far. And there's Jamal Lascelles on 10 league goals so far. He's been our top goal scorer. Very happy with that. He's featured in pretty much every single game so far. Been very pleased with what he's done for us. That's a lovely ball there. And Tim Krul just comes out to meet that one, does really, really well, absolutely fantastic. And then we play him offside as a result of that. I think this is going to be the last attack of the half. Not really going to be expecting too much else. Joel Matip there, just managing to knock Stephen Fletcher off that there. And there's Key. Key, who's a good player, has done quite well in the Barclays Premier League. Getting on the ball again. And there's a ball to De Jong. Doesn't quite manage it there though. Tries to get something to happen again, but you don't actually see anything happening there. De Jong not done too much in this match so far. Spurned an early chance with the opportunity there. Not really sure if things need to change at the moment. I mean, obviously we've got I&JGaming who could come off the bench, but I think the defence has done well so far. Going to give it another 15 minutes and we'll see how things stand, at the 60-minute mark. And then if we're still, 0-0 or if we're losing, I might look to make a couple of changes, but no need for real permanent changes at the moment. It's just a case of, as I say, ironing out tweaks, trying to get things sorted. And there's De Jong. De Jong spots the run of Lacazette. Lacazette trying to get onto that one. Defender covering it, does really, really well. There's Joel Matip again, doing exactly what he's been doing previously. Cutting out the attack before it even starts, just heading the ball out. And it gives us the opportunity to push them on the front foot. There's Joel Matip again. Probably going to be, again, man of the match. Done really well so far. De Jong now on the ball. There's Riviere. De Jong making another lovely run. And the defence is just doing really well in covering those three balls. But I think that's going to be offside. Yeah, Stephen Fletcher offside there. But we've done really well so far in terms of the opportunities we've created. We've not created too many chances because the defence, when we played the through ball over the top, they've done really well in terms of preventing that from working, and they've covered Riviere and Lacazette very, very well. That's a lovely crossfield ball. Joel Matip again managing to get onto that one there, just clears the ball, and then they just fire wide from outside the box when they had room to move forward to take an earlier shot. They haven't. And obviously they just shot from outside the box and nothing's really happened with that. De Jong now on the ball, and Lacazette going to try and take it through the defence, moving it down the left hand side, waiting for some support to come in. Sees it coming in from the middle, nothing really happening there. And Arthur now on the ball, and Arthur spots De Jong. De Jong going to go for the shot and just hits the side netting. De Jong, lovely bit of play there. Ben Arthur doing really well, holding on to the ball, managing to keep the attack alive. But let's say coming up to the 60-minute mark, I do think there's going to be a couple of changes. De Jong done well so far, but Remy Cabella may be able to provide the spark there, which is exactly what we're looking for. And Riviere just losing the ball there, a little bit disappointing there, but Riviere, he's done well in this game, but he has been knocked off the ball a little bit. I think it could be worth making a couple of changes there. So I am going to be making a couple of changes. Obviously we're on the 60-minute mark. I think Ferry is going to come on for Riviere, and then I'm going to have Remy Cabella coming on for Siem De Jong. That's what I'm going to go with so far. I think it's going to be a good change, going to be a positive change. Shows a bit of attacking intent, and hopefully we can get a decent result with that one there.
Two new players ready to come on.
We've got Amiobi playing a little bit more centrally there, moving in to try and make things happen. Lacazette on the ball, loses the ball but then wins it back. Here's Amiobi. Amiobi can try and use his pace to get past the defences, and the sliding tackle just knocks the ball out of play, but we keep the throw in. Lee Cattermole coming on for Key. Lee Cattermole, of course, a player known for getting sent off against Sunderland, against Newcastle. We try to whip the ball in, does really well. Ciote now trying to keep things alive, doesn't quite manage it. And then Sunderland now on the counter, and then they just shove Sammy Amiobi, and he managed to win the free kick, which is really, really good. Davide Santon now on the ball, skips past one challenge, skips past two, goes to the byline, whips it in, and it's just over the crossbar. Ferrier doing really well to get onto that one. Very, very good effort, very pleased with that. Well, we're coming to the 67th minute now, and still no closer to breaking the deadlock so far. I think I'm going to be looking to go attacking, So I'm just going to get that changed. There we go. Going to attacking. I think we need to press to get the win here. Very important that we do. Tiote, Amiobi now on the ball. Amiobi not really seeing too much in terms of attacking options. Plays it to Ferrier. Ferrier trying to play the through ball over to Lacazette. It was in a little bit of space, but wasn't able to thread the through ball there with the defender covering. There's Remy Cabella, just conceding the foul there, just as he's trying to show a little bit of aggression and win the ball back. You expect them, yeah, they're just going to wait for us to move back to our distance. There's Joel Matip and Jamal Lascelles just combining well again there. Samiobi manages to win that one there. Here's Remy Cabella on the ball. Plays it over to Ferrier. Ferrier to Lacazette. Lacazette trying to win that one there, but just lose out. He was trying to play it to Sami Amiobi, who was coming in from the left to overlap him. Didn't quite work out, but it's a good bit of positive attacking intent there. Here's Joel Matip. And there's Davide Santon doing really well there against the challenge. We just need to hoof that one up there. And Joel Matip still covering the ball. Just managed to get past him there. And then Stephen Fletcher just managed to knock that one in. A little bit of a mistake in terms of our defending there. We just allow, I think it was number 26, to play in the ball there. And that gives us a mistake. That's dropped us down to 1-0 when we, I think, have had the better game. Their defence has done, you know, very, very well against us. They've not allowed us too many opportunities, but I'm going to have to go ultra attacking. You know, we need to get a goal. We need to be positive in our play. So that's what we're going to have to go for. Very there. Spots the run of Sami Amiobi. Sami Amiobi takes it first time. And that's a great goal. Absolutely fantastic effort from Sami Amiobi. That puts us at 1-1. The ultra attacking mode has obviously worked for us. Sami Amiobi rushing forward, getting on to the through ball. That's worked really well for us. Absolutely fantastic. We've now got to go on and win this. We've got a little bit of grip between our teeth. A draw, I don't think will be good enough. You know, if we're going to go, we've got to go all out. Remy Cabella now trying to keep hold of the ball, doesn't quite manage it. And they're going to go on the attack again. Jamal Lascelles trying to cover that one, doesn't quite manage it. Sami Amiobi now coming down, and that's just a mistake there. I don't know who that was. I think that was number 10. Not wide of goal when there's a clear opportunity for a score there. Liam Bridcut there, I think, is the one who provided the assist there. But he's been brought off Jamal Lascelles for Jotti Aldator, so they're going to be going attacking as well. We've got about 5 minutes of normal time remaining, and then we've got whatever added time they add on. But Sunderland have been attacking so far. We've now got the ball. Sheikh Tiote holding on to the ball really well. Spots Lacazette running. Lacazette now on the left hand side. Goes to take the shot. Goalkeeper parries it away, but the Sunderland players get to it first. And now they're on the attack. They're going to try and get the ball forward. Here we go, Jamal Lascelles trying to cover Ciaccolini. Manages to do it. Now needs to get the ball out. Manages it. And Remy Cabella doing really well there. Lacazette, sorry, doing really well. There's Ben Arthur. Ben Arthur now on the ball. Amiobi on the ball. Tries to play it to Davide Santos, it doesn't work. We've got 3 added minutes on. That's going to be a throw in. And then Sami Amiobi just doing really well and winning that ball there, but you suspect that it's probably going to end in a 1-1 draw. You know, there's very little time remaining. Joel Matip trying to clear the ball, doesn't quite manage it. Don't think we've got time for one last attack. No, that's it. It's ended a 1-1 draw. Sami Amiobi managing to rescue a draw there, does really well. Stephen Fletcher obviously scoring that there. Darren Janmaat winning the man of the match. We also got a few more shots on target, but at the end of the day, draw was probably a fair result. Sunderland went forward as a result of our dodgy defending again, but done very well there. Next episode is going to be the FA Cup. It's going to be the 5th round, and obviously if we get through the 6th round, we'll meet our target there. It's up against Norwich City, who hopefully will be able to beat. And that's going to be it for this episode.
In your life, have you ever witnessed anything quite like that?
Well, we're saying, you know, what a season, what a day.
Don't forget to click subscribe for all the latest videos.